Hey guys, what's up? It's Vampire Bride. Today I'm doing a review of Alice Madness Returns. This psychological horror action adventure 3D platformer puzzle game came out on the 360, PlayStation 3, and of course the PC. The version I played was on the Xbox 360. It is a 14 to 16 hour game that took me months to beat because I would get so aggravated I would put it down for months at a time before picking it back up. I would end up picking it back up because of the style that it had. It would continue to draw me back. Even while getting B-roll just to do this review, I was again entranced with the beautiful artistic styling in Alice Madness Returns. Alice Madness Returns draws you in immediately with its creepy yet beautiful twist on Alice in Wonderland. Alice starts off in an orphanage after she spent 10 years in an insane asylum because she saw her parents and sister burn in a house fire and thought herself to be responsible. A psychiatrist in the orphanage uses hypnosis to make his patients forget their memories, but Alice still slips into Wonderland. And eventually she realizes what the doctor is doing and she doesn't want to forget. She remembers key parts from the night of the fire and learns it wasn't her fault. That's all I'll say as to not spoil the game because I think it's worth a playthrough. To see the art style and play through the story, seeing the different enemies and different semi-unique weaponry. Wonderland is quite beautiful, but also still continues with the creepy factor. This game has a mix between compact and puzzles. Some of them literally slide puzzles that you have to find the pieces for and then put it together, and other time bits that you have to figure out quickly. I enjoyed the suspenseful music when trouble is near and softer music during the puzzle parts. The beautiful, weird, trippy, and bizarre art and music of its quite unique art style could maybe even be called whimsical. From the bouncy mushrooms to cool creative characters throughout. There is no map, but sometimes a Cheshire Cat will show up and give you a hint on what you're supposed to do. Though helpful, what he says is not always accurate. I've heard great reviews about how well this game controls and how good the combat is, but I just don't see it. Jumping is very inconsistent. At times you can jump multiple times while in the air, but during some jumps it'll just stop you after a few, and other times it'll let you keep jumping. When you fall, it isn't as death. You dissipate into butterflies and start usually at the last platform that you were soundly on. Some of the camera angles are terrible. It'll move the camera on you while you're in the middle of a jump, making you fall. Most of the time the camera is in your control, but when it isn't well done. When an enemy attacks, everything starts to move in slow motion, and you'd think it would make it easier for the player to get away. But you also move in slow motion, making it harder to dodge. As you go through the level, some parts repeat sentences over and over in an annoying voice. It made me want to rush through the level and get away from it. The aiming mechanism isn't too good either. At times, when you aim, it'll start shooting in mid-air when you're obviously trying to shoot at an enemy. Other times, it'll start shooting at an enemy far away when there's an enemy close up that you're trying to shoot. Aiming with the lock-on mechanism takes more time, at least with the pepper grinder anyways. Onto the brighter side of Alice Madness. This game makes great use of all the buttons on the controller. From jumping with A to choosing to use one of the 6 different weapons with X, Y, B, or using a trigger and A, and aiming with left trigger and shooting with right trigger, and dodging with the right bumper. Every one of the buttons on the controller are utilized, some with multiple purposes. New weapons are given throughout the game, and the enemies continue to change and get harder, making it less repetitive with things always changing. Weapons range from a pepper grinder to a teapot cannon, and also include an exploding bunny bomb, umbrella shield, and a crushing stick horse. The 4 main weapons can be upgraded 4 times each, and can all be upgraded completely by the end of one playthrough. You pick up teeth along the way to upgrade these weapons. This changes both the look of the weapon and how powerful it is. And your health increases with the levels, making it easier to keep up with the enemies that continue to increase in difficulty. The amount of health taken from you is reasonable with most enemies. There are memory fragments and bottles to collect, pig snouts to pepper that usually give you a hidden route to a collectible. Certain enemies have a way to beat them, and certain attacks that need to be used. It can get a little hard to keep each straight as groups of enemies are very similar, but it does add diversity to the game. There are hints placed throughout the levels that are only visible with the Drink Me, Shrink Me potion. You press the left bumper and it allows you to see writing that you couldn't see before, and also platforms that you can jump to, glowing in purple. It's pretty neat, but maybe a little overused by the end. This potion is also used to enter tiny keyholes housing collectibles and memories. There are a few 2D platform areas throughout that have their own beautiful art style. There are also parts where you are sliding down, picking up teeth, and having to avoid hot coal, and of course jumping when necessary. There are Radula rooms that are like challenge rooms that reward you with rose paint. And also what I would call little mini games, such as you are controlling a ship, shooting skeleton sharks as you go. Alice has different outfits during different levels, and after an entire playthrough you are able to pick which outfit for her to wear. You receive a key upon completion of each level. To sum it all up, this game is not bad, but the gameplay is not good either. It makes it really aggravating when the jumping, aiming, and dodging features are all so inconsistent. It led to a few partial rage quits. I did end up picking it back up because I love the imaginative art and the uniqueness put into this game. It is definitely worth a playthrough. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment down below, what do you think if you have played Alice Madness Returns? And of course, subscribe to the channel for more weekly videos.